Thanks for tuning in. We love having you here, and it's our mission to bring you all the latest and greatest tips, skills, and know-how to make you the best that you can be. We know that you have it in you, and we're going to show you how. Now, let's get started.
Hey guys, welcome to Seaview Plus. Today we are going to be doing some cooking. I'm joined by Ms Scarfo. How are we today?
Good, how are you, Clayton?
Good, thank you. Can you explain to our viewers what we're going to be doing today?
So today we are going to cook a really quick and easy satay chicken. Now just for today's purposes, we are using the pre-made satay chicken. At school, obviously, if we were cooking this, we would use fresh ingredients only, but because this is quick and easy, just for you guys to kind of make something at home that is healthy, we're just going to use the Kanton pre-made satay chicken sauce.
Awesome.
Excellent. All right.
So a couple of things we need to remember, obviously, is our social distancing. So when we're cooking today, we're going to make sure that we're, keeping distance for keeping us healthy and safe. So what is the first thing that we need to do today? So
always what you need to remember to do is make sure your hair's tied up. Now, as students, I don't like my hair being tied up. Clayton, you've got no problem with that.
I'm alright for today.
So hair needs to be tied up. You need to make sure, obviously, you're in the correct outfit. So we've both got our aprons on. We've both made sure that we don't have any long, loose sleeves that can get caught in anything. And then I reckon now we'll just wash our hands.
Cool, awesome.
So while Clayton's washing his hands, I'll quickly let you guys know that we've already pre-prepared some products. So we've already cut up our broccoli. And what we've done, we've actually just cut them into bite-sized pieces. So obviously we don't want to, have to eat them in a couple of different pieces. We've also cut up our red capsicum already. And then obviously Clayton's going to show us how to cut up our green capsicum. And we've weighed out how much rice as well. So that's what we've already done.
Awesome. So, what is the first thing that we need to do once we've washed our hands?
So I reckon we're going to start with cutting our chicken, Clayton,
yep.
Just to make sure that we do keep it separate. Now, obviously, prior to the practical, Clayton and I have already washed all of our ingredients, all of our vegetables. So I don't know if you just want to give them another wash, Clayton, just to show everyone what to do that. Alright, so while Clayton's washing his green capsicum, I'm going to start cutting the chicken. Now, for those of you that do know how to cut chicken, excellent. For those of you that don't, I'm actually going to go through this. So using the correct knife technique, of course, which is very important. So we're going to just cut off all of the parts of our chicken that aren't necessarily nice. So they might be like the fatty parts of your chicken, or if you've got something else in there that you might not like. Now, as you can see, we've got a rubbish bowl. To place all of our rubbish in, so it doesn't matter what goes into our rubbish bowl, obviously, because that goes in the bin. How big do you want your chicken pieces, Clayton?
Not overly big, I think, kind of smaller.
Bite-sized?
Yeah, nice bite sizes,
Cool.
I reckon.
So using the claw action, obviously, we're just going to cut our product into a bite-sized piece, which obviously you can see. Now, if you really wanted to, you could tenderize your chicken, but for this, you don't really need to do that.
Awesome.
So as you can see, I'm kind of just going by the natural curve of the chicken breast, and I'm just cutting off all the excess product there.
Awesome. While you're doing that, do I need to get the water going for the rice?
That would be fantastic, Clayton.
Awesome.
So if you could please, now we've got 1 cup of rice. If we're using the absorption method, generally 1 cup of rice is 2 cups of water. But today we're going to use the boiling method. So Clayton, could I just get you to half fill the saucepan with water? Because I think that should be plenty.
And boiling water or just normal?
I mean, for safety wise, normal water is perfectly fine. But if you've got boiling water handy, then obviously boiling water will just speed up that process a little bit more.
Awesome. I reckon that would do.
So if you want to chuck that onto a medium-high heat, Clayton.
Yep. Awesome. Now, do I put that rice in straight away, or what do I do with that?
So for the moment, we'll actually let the water boil.
Sure.
And then once the water starts boiling, we'll add the rice. Now, don't forget, once the water starts boiling, guys, to add salt. We do like flavour.
Awesome.
Alright, so I've nearly finished cutting my chicken. So as you can see, I've got nice bite-sized pieces here. Nothing too big, nothing too small. I'm going to hand it over to you, Clayton, and you're going to now start cutting up all our vegetables.
So what vegetable do you think I should start with first?
Maybe go with the onion first,
Yep.
Clayton. Now, in the meantime, so we don't cross-contaminate, I'm actually going to move this to another section, and obviously it's going to come back later in the video, just so we don't cross-contaminate.
Yep. Awesome. Now, I'm dicing this onion.
That's correct, Clayton.
You don't want to have too many big pieces of onion in the satay chicken. I'm just going to take off that first layer.
And I reckon we're just going to move you over a tiny bit, just so we can get you full focus.
Awesome. I'm just going to put that in my scrap tray. Now, when cutting an onion, what do you recommend?
So the easiest way to do this is on your onion, you have got some automatic lines that are on there. So cut against it and place your knife so your tip is kind of on the outside yet. Place your tip in first and then obviously you cut down.
Is that okay?
That's perfect, Clayton. Well done. Excellent. And
Perfect.
now we are just going to slice it. So because the onion isn't that large, we haven't actually cut the onion in half to start with. If you've got a really, really large onion, you may want to, when you cut it in half, you may want to then slice it again from tip to tail and then you do your slices. So what you should have left is that. You've got a nice little section of onion that is left over. Great job,
Awesome.
Clayton.
Thank you. Now, garlic. Do you want to talk me through that? What's the best way to go about the garlic?
So the best way to go about with cleaning and using the garlics, we want minced garlic.
Yep.
So clean your garlic first, and it's easy if you just wiggle your garlic a bit, and then naturally your skin will actually start to come off. And then obviously you place your skin into the rubbish bin.
Yep. That's nice and clean now.
Yeah, and now we want to cut our base off of the chili because we don't want to get that mixed up with our actual, with our garlic, not chili. We don't want to get that mixed up. Excellent. And now with the thickest side of the thickest part of your knife,
Yep.
place it on the garlic.
Yep.
Yep, place it a little bit more towards the end of the board. And now we just give it a nice tap. Great job. And now using, with one hand on the edge and then the other one, we're going to slice it.
Just like that?
That's perfect, Clayton.
Awesome.
And then if you wanted to slice it a little bit smaller, you can then do as what we call the chef action, where we are randomly chopping our product.
Awesome.
Great work, Clayton.
Thank you. Probably not as good as what you could do it.
Well, what can I say? You could be a chef, Clayton.
We'll get there. Awesome. So that leaves me with the capsicum. Now, what is the best way to cut a capsicum? I know that a lot of people do it differently.
Yep.
How do you do it, and what do you recommend?
Well, if we're using the whole capsicum, which we are today, easiest way to do it is cut the top off and then cut it in half, clean it all out. If
Yep.
you're only using half, you actually cut it in half first, so you've got that top part still. So cut the
Cool.
top off first, I reckon.
Beautiful.
And then
Half
cut it
this
in
way.
half, perfect. And now we clean out obviously the insides because we don't want the insides to be in our food product, so we can do that maybe over the rubbish bowl.
Yep. Do you clean it out just using your fingers, or do you use the knife? How do you do
it
it?
just depends. Whatever you feel comfortable doing, Clayton.
Awesome. So,
Great job. And now what we're going to do is we're actually just going to slice our capsicum to start with. And then after we're going to cut it obviously into more bite-sized pieces. Now while Clayton's doing that, I'm going to grab your attention because we've actually got our water which is boiling. So as you can probably see, boiling is big bubbles, whereas simmering is nice little bubbles. So I'm just going to step in front of you quickly, Clayton.
Yep.
And I'm going to grab our rice. I'm going to delicately place it in there because we don't want to splatter the water around everywhere. And then, Clayton, do you mind passing me the salt?
I can do that for you. There you go.
Perfect. Couple nice turns of the salt. As I said, we do like flavour. And of course, we may need to reduce the temperature of that so we still get those nice little bubbles.
Awesome. So we've got those vegetables cut up now. What's the next step, do you think?
I reckon let's start making it.
Cool.
So we've got everything cut up, as you can see. Let's grab a fry pan. And I reckon, Clayton,
Yep.
I reckon you are going to be cooking this.
Alright, I can do that. Awesome. So how much oil do you think we should start off by putting in?
Let's start off with 1 tablespoon. Let's start off with 1 teaspoon of oil, sorry.
Yep. So, thank you. Good catch.
Thank you. I did play basketball back in the day.
Awesome. So that should be plenty in there.
Great job. Now, Clayton, if you just want to give your rice a stir every now and then,
Sure.
just to make sure it doesn't clump together, it doesn't stick. Now, if you wanted to as well, because as you can see, our water's gone a little bit cloudy. Generally, what you would do is you would rinse your rice out first in a pasta strainer, just so it comes out nice and clean, and it just takes out that starch from your rice. If you don't do that, it's perfectly fine.
Awesome. So we're going to start with putting the chicken or the onion in first.
I reckon let's go the onion and garlic first.
Awesome.
And then we'll go, I think, after that to the chicken. Now, Clayton, is your fry pan hot?
Yeah, it's feeling pretty hot. I can tell that by just putting my hand over it. Obviously, don't want to put my hand inside of the fry pan, otherwise I may burn myself if it is hot. But yeah, I can just put my hand over the top to feel it, and that's feeling pretty hot now.
Perfect. I might turn it down a bit, so I'm not sure if you can see on the screen, it's kind of a little bit smoky. So when we place our onion and garlic into that, all of a sudden we're going to get all of these sprays of oil. So we'll just let that cool down for a tiny, tiny bit. I think, no, we're just too busy talking, aren't we?
Yeah.
Right, so whenever you're ready, Clayton, go
Awesome.
for it. Oh, hear that sizzle. That's what we like to hear.
Yep.
Good sizzle.
I love the smell of garlic going into the
Garlic
pan.
and
It smells
onion.
so good.
That smell goes throughout the whole food and hospitality, or the food science area.
Yeah.
Absolutely delicious.
Awesome. So how long should I keep this in the fry pan before I add the chicken?
Just until it becomes translucent. So translucent means it's kind of a little bit sweaty. You can kind of start seeing through it a bit,
Yep.
but you don't want it to burn as well. So that's why Clayton's constantly moving that onion and garlic around. In the meantime, I'm going to grab the chicken.
Awesome. Smells so good.
Smells delicious already. Do you reckon we're ready for our chicken?
I reckon we're about there. Yep. So now, how long should I cook the chicken before I start adding in some of the other vegetables?
Yeah, good question. I would say for the chicken that we've currently cut, anywhere between maybe 3 to 5 minutes.
Yep.
So what we want to see on our chicken is we want to see a nice white outside colour. So we don't want to see a pink chicken before obviously we add all of our other vegetables in.
Sure.
So I might just turn up the heat a little bit longer, a little bit more on both of our products.
I'll give our rice a stir as well.
Now we're cooking.
Yeah, you can hear it sizzling. So today, obviously, we're using the pre-made satay sauce. Do you have any sort of other ideas if they wanted to make something from scratch at home?
Definitely, I can give you some really good websites, and they're just websites usually that are trusted that I would always go to. So I would always go to websites such as taste.com.au. Obviously that's an Australian website. Coles and Woolworths have actually started to launch their own food websites as well. You can have a look at the BBC website. They usually create really good recipes, and they're recipes that are trusted as well. So they've all been practiced at home. So you've actually had people cooking them at home. They've had modifications to it, obviously, to make it taste better. Awesome. And also just like professional cooks as well. So like Jamie Oliver, like he does probably one of the best satay chickens. All right, how's that chicken looking?
Chicken's looking nice and sort of browning a little bit now. Does that mean that we're almost at the stage to add those vegetables in?
I reckon it's about time to add the vegetables in, Clayton. I'll get you to do that just because we are social distancing. Otherwise, I'd be helping Clayton with this as well.
Broccoli in. And we've got a red capsicum. And we've also got that green capsicum that I cut earlier.
That looks absolutely delicious.
Looks very colourful. Yeah. Awesome. I'll give that a nice mix now. Mix that all through. Now, how long until we should add in our sauce?
I reckon give it about a couple minutes, Clayton.
Yep.
And then we will add in our sauce.
Beautiful.
Now this recipe, obviously if you've got a nut allergy, this recipe isn't appropriate if you do have a nut allergy, so you may want to look at maybe our upcoming recipes that we're going to cook or put up online. Just as some other, I know you might have this as a lunch recipe, maybe, even definitely dinner. You might have a look at some other ways or some other recipes that you can create at home.
Beautiful.
How's our rice looking, Clayton?
I'm just going to give it a stir now. It's looking good. What's the best way to tell if your rice is cooked?
So the best way to tell if your rice is cooked, Clayton, is grab a clean spoon and actually try the product. Now you may need maybe an older sibling or a parent to help for this, just so you don't burn yourself. I'll get you to try that. Now make sure with that spoon it goes straight to the sink after you've eaten it, obviously because we don't want you to place that spoon back in if it does need to be retried. So make sure your spoon is always clean when you try your rice.
Probably going to be a bit hot. Yes, I think it needs a little bit longer still.
Excellent.
Awesome. I'll keep stirring this chicken and veg so we don't burn any of it, but it's looking really good now. Really nice colours coming through.
That smells so good. Only you guys could actually smell this.
Yes.
Delicious.
Awesome. Now today we've cooked quite a large portion. How many people do you think this would feed?
That would feed, or it depends how hungry you are really. I think this would comfortably feed anywhere from 2 to 4 people, just depending on the serving sizes. So it's usually half a cup of rice per person that you would cook. So we've obviously done a whole cup of rice. And then with the vegetables that we placed, obviously another, it'll feed comfortably another 2 people. So it's really up to you.
Awesome.
How many people it feeds?
Yeah, so we've added a red and a green capsicum and then some broccoli. What are some other vegetables that you could put in this sort of to make it a bit more healthier and
Definitely, you could add pretty much nearly any vegetable that you do like the taste of or that you guys eat a lot at home. So you could add maybe carrot into there. You could go, this is a little bit more of the untraditional type of way to cook it. But if you do want to add a little bit more nutrients into there, you can go for your zucchini. You can even add maybe some corn, peas. I love adding peas.
Yum.
So really just any vegetable that you've got around the house to obviously make it healthier.
Awesome.
And then of course making sure that you're using, instead of our pre-bought one, but you're making it using fresh products instead.
Awesome. Alright, so I think our chicken and vegetables is ready to have the sauce added into it now. So I'm just going to add that in. Yum, I can smell that as soon as it came out. Right, need to grab a spoon to get the last bits out. Beautiful. That
And
will
then
do.
after you do that, Clayton, I'm just going to get you to try the rice again
Yep.
when you're ready. While Clayton's trying the rice, I'm just going to mix it a bit.
Very close now. I
Very
think
close.
Maybe another couple minutes and I reckon we're good.
Fantastic, because I reckon by the time the rice is ready, I think our satay chicken sauce is going to be perfectly ready. Now I reckon that I might season this a little bit. Now I'm not going to put too much salt obviously on this, just because the amount of salt that already is in the pre-packaged product or the pre-made product. So I'm literally just going to add a tiny bit of salt in, obviously pepper, not too much pepper because I don't want to make it too spicy. And then I'm actually now going to reduce the temperature slightly, just so we don't reduce that sauce too much. So I'm actually going to reduce the temperature so it's about a medium temperature, and then just let that sit there and simmer. So as you can probably see, there's like little bubbles that are just popping up from the surface, and that means that that is a perfect simmer.
I reckon our rice is just about ready now. Let's give that a final taste.
Good. So we're using a clean spoon. Perfect. Excellent. I'm going to give you the strainer. Now we obviously need to strain our rice over the sink.
Yep.
And the best way to do it as well is once you have strained your rice over the sink, rinse it in a little bit of cold water just so your rice doesn't clump together. While Clayton's doing that, I'm just going to place all of my dirty dishes on my sink, so then we can obviously serve. So how do you want to serve this?
I reckon we'll serve it up a little bit fancy today. So, how can we do that?
Yep, that's a great idea, Clayton. So what we'll do is we'll move these out of the way a little bit. I'm going to grab a measuring cup. Now, just because I only eat a small portion for you, Clayton, I'll do a little bit bigger.
Yep.
I've got half a measuring cup here that I'm actually going to place my rice in. So give it a little bit of a kind of push down with your rice, kind of compact it in the tiniest bit. Now we do need to work fast when we're doing this, and the only reason is because otherwise the rice is going to clump together, and no one likes clumpy rice. No. I'm going to grab my plate, so I'm going to grab a smaller plate, place it on top, and then flip it. Give it a tap, and then your rice should come out perfectly.
Very fancy.
I'll get you to do that in a moment,
right.
Clayton. I'll get you a bigger cup.
No worries.
So half a cup of cooked rice is equivalent to 1 cup of cooked rice. So as we were cooking for 2 people,
yep.
We placed in 1 cup of uncooked rice, which gives us 2 cups of cooked rice.
Sure.
You ready for the flip?
Yeah, let's have a look.
All right, let's do it again. So we've got our rice. We're placing our bowl on top. We flip it. Give it a little tap. And then we take it off.
Look at that.
There you go.
Very professional. Alrighty. So from here, what do we need to do? Just add our chicken in?
Yep, add your chicken in and then eat it. First thing you need to do is turn your stovetop off, guys, because sometimes we accidentally leave it on.
Yep.
So make sure your stovetop is turned off before you actually go to serve your chicken.
Awesome. So that one's off now.
And I'll grab you a scooper. That's a little bit easier.
Do you reckon just putting it to the side or on top, or what do you reckon?
You're the chef, Clayton. You do you.
I don't know. I'm going to put it to the side, I reckon.
If we make any mess, of course, we'll just clean it up with a paper towel.
Oh, the colours look beautiful. Alright, we'll leave it like that.
Great job.
This one's hard to get in.
Yum, that smells so good.
It does smell very good. I'm just going to fill yours up a bit. Should I do it all the way around or just like that?
I reckon do it all the way around. I reckon do it to your plate as well, Clayton.
Alright.
Why not? We've made it.
Why
Might as well
not?
eat it.
I'm hungry now cooking
You're
this.
super hungry.
Delicious.
Now, if you are making this for your family at home and you really wanted to make it kind of special, put a little garnish on there. So, what would you put, Clayton, maybe?
I could put like a little bit of greenery on there, like a bit of parsley or something like that, do you think?
Yep, perfect.
Yep.
Or, Miss Dunn's favourite, it's not her favourite, you could put coriander on there.
Yum.
Sounds good. But I reckon we'll just eat like this.
We'll leave it like that for now. Awesome. There's your bowl.
Thank you.
We won't
Clayton.
share. And here's my mammoth ball. I'm not sure how I'm going to get through all of that. But awesome. Thanks for helping me with that, Ms Scarfo, today. That is a quick and easy recipe for some satay chicken and rice. We will put lots of information about how we cooked that and how you can do your own sauce in the description below. Awesome. See you next time.
See you guys.